since 2004. I've seen many fantastic changes in the school over the last decade, but what I know hasn't changed is the fact that St. Andrews remains a real community with real values and a unique and genuine spirit. You guys don't know this, but you sixth formers and I shared an experience together over the course of a few days last December that left a deep impression on me. And I told my dad right then that I wanted to talk to this class to congratulate you guys and thank you. This past winter I returned to St. Andrews for my Christmas vacation, and on the day I arrived home on December 14th, 2012, there was the tragic news about the school shooting in Connecticut. It's heartbreaking and scattering news, but as Mr. Roach wrote to us later that week, St. Andrews offered a response. And it wasn't just on paper, I really felt it when I was here. I watched a basketball game in the crowd, I chatted with a freshman during a swim meet, I saw the Knoxontown Home Companion and heard the Knoxontones both for the first time. And I was with you for lessons and carols and Wednesday evening supper. It was inspiring to see how much people in this community loved and supported one another. I know you sixth formers had so much to do with the creation of that spirit, the making of a decent, kind, and caring community. You should feel really proud. And to me, during those few days in the wake of a tragedy, it was really uplifting, and I was proud to be a St. Andrew. But when I say it was uplifting, I want to be clear that I don't mean in the sense that when something goes wrong, it's nice to just go find a happy place as if to forget or disconnect from the real world. It was uplifting, not just because of what was going on here, but mostly because I know you all are now going out there, into the world to spread that spirit of kindness, generosity, tolerance, and commitment to service. To apply a saying from a camp in New Hampshire, where I've worked many summers, we are at St. Andrews to leave it. We are at St. Andrews to leave it, and once we leave it, to live it, to take what we learn to other places and people, to serve them. This is your next great responsibility. When I left St. Andrews in 2004 and went down south to Sewanee for college, I mourned the loss of my St. Andrews community and home. My mentors and my St. Andrews friends, the best friends ever, couldn't be any better. My freshman roommate at Sewanee looked at me like I was crazy, like, you liked high school? The fact is I never wanted to leave here, and it took me a long time to get over what I thought of as a great loss in my life, leaving SAS. I didn't realize at the time that the gift of a St. Andrews education was a seed that was planted within me, nurtured and cared for here by loving teachers and friends, but one that was always meant to grow and flourish elsewhere, in bigger gardens and parks and cities and schools and countries all over the world. Now there's a particular strain in that seed that I want to talk about for a minute, something I know you all are very familiar with, and that is the idea and importance of critical thinking. Nigel Furlong was a history teacher here when I was a student, and he was known for looking you in the eye after a perfectly well thought out, well delivered argument, and in a frustratingly calm way, responding with the following words: complicate that. What? No, that's not what I'm... Mr. Furlong, you see, I'm trying to explain that, to simplify it, not complicate it. That's actually the opposite of what I'm trying to do. He would nod very contemplatively, but say again, how can we complicate that? I realized looking back that this message was echoed in every class I had, from English to math to Chinese and the arts. Critical thinking, digging deeper, and complicating what on the surface seems obvious. The secret is that this process, this lens for viewing the world, is essentially a grown-up form of something that inspires and delights us as young children, our imagination. A stick becomes a sword, your dad's overcoat turns you invisible, a toss of the basketball on the rusty hoop outside your house becomes the game-winning shot in the Final Four. Yet somehow our eagerness to think imaginatively begins to get neglected and distrusted as we start to grow up. This process, I believe, can create a wound as we thicken our skin and adjust to a world that can be a very cynical, calculating place, a timeline of calamitous events, a rush to celebrate status over service, and to find strategies to get ahead of others. But in response to this, what heals and unites us as a St. Andrew's community is hope. Hope lies with people like you, who I hope will take with you an ethic of thinking critically, who will work hard to forgive, to understand someone else's perspective, and to identify and believe in a silver lining. A favorite quote of mine is from a Brazilian philosopher and teacher named Ruben Alves. It goes, "What is hope? It is the presentiment that imagination is more real and reality is less real than it looks. It is the hunch that the overwhelming brutality of facts that oppress and oppress us is not the last word. It is the suspicion that reality is more complex than the realists want us to believe." Well, like I said, when I came back to St. Andrews for those few days in December, I visited a home basketball game. There was a huge crowd and a close, spirited game. But what I will remember most, always, is looking up above into the railing around the track and seeing Mr. Schuler looking down, rooting on the Saints. Even then, when his condition was very grave, to me it seemed he wouldn't let those facts be the last word. He complicated that by reaching out with a demonstration of hope and strength and solidarity. These lessons are the ones I believe stick with us the longest. And the St. Andrews community extends far and wide with such hopeful, imaginative people. And we're lucky to have you all now joining the ranks. So I hope you'll leave here feeling proud that you've carried on a great tradition, and confident knowing that St. Andrews will always be a part of you wherever you go. Don't be reluctant, as I was, to embrace the new communities you will soon join and the many opportunities that lie ahead. But then again, when you notice that you're starting to feel comfortable again, and you've settled in and really hit your stride, remember to complicate that. Seek a new challenge, go abroad, or simply reach out to befriend somebody new and different. I'd like to end with a prayer I first heard here at commencement many years ago, which charges us to think critically and imaginatively to make the world a better place. May God bless you with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships, so that you may live deep within your heart. May God bless you with anger at injustice, oppression, and exploitation of people, so that you may work for justice, freedom, and peace. May God bless you with tears to shed for those who suffer from pain, rejection, starvation, and war, so that you may reach out your hand to comfort them and turn their pain into joy. And may God bless you with foolishness, enough foolishness to believe that you can make a difference in this world, so that you can do what others claim cannot be done. Amen, and thank you.